If you're feeling a little stuck, unmotivated, feeling like you just don't know how to keep going on, listen up. I just had a wonderful practice where I was reading some of my metaphysical minister work in this booklet, and they really talked about the difference between motivating yourself and surrendering yourself to your source self, to God. So when we're in this stuck place, and a lot of us get there, feel stuck when we're in our 20s, kind of just starting out, and in our midlife, when life just seems to really start having this overhaul, right? Women go into perimenopause, things are just kind of falling apart, and we may feel really alone. But we need to always remember that prayer, the footsteps prayers. When you were having the hardest time, that's when I was carrying you. And lately, I'm having this new relationship with God, Source, as myself and the greater component of it. And the thing is, I'm realizing is that it's very comforting and very potent to realize that we're not alone. And when we realize that we're not alone and that our source self is in us, as us, for us, and that source self is kind of a ray of even a bigger sun that has our back, life gets more interesting. We get more motivation to just get out of bed and get excited to see what's next. At least that's what's happened to me. Now, we see this in a lot of programs. We see this in AA when we give ourselves over to a higher power. Now, personally, I like to look at it as I'm the source and God is within me. I'm a ray of the sun, the greater source, right? So there's this whole source, and I'm kind of a projection of it within this body, having an experience in this human life. But when I surrender to that, I don't feel so alone. I feel like there's something that has my back. There feels like something that's breathing me, living me, and that my singular personality and ego doesn't have to do it alone. And so if you are in this stuck kind of like, oh my God, what's next? I just feel like I'm stuck and can't do anything in my life. Please surrender. Just surrender to your source self. Imagine that there's a source light in every cell of your body. And that source is out here in your field. And source is this big sun that just has your back because you are an extension of it. And so here's some things that I read today in my practice from my metaphysical manual that just really like lit me up, okay? It is source, it is God, use whatever term you like, universal mind, who is the true life of my body. It's God who is the doer, the true doer, God who is doing. I am wise enough to look to source, depend on source, take action now, knowing that I am with source and I am source. Here's another one. I will begin moving now, doing now, accomplishing now, knowing that my moving, doing, and accomplishing is part of the great creative plan for the evolution of life and the universe. As me, as source energy. So giving it up, surrendering, we've heard these terms, letting go, letting God, right? We've heard these terms. Now just modernize them and know that you are that God. You are that source. And think of it this way. The sun is source or God, higher power, and you are a ray of that sits in this body. That ray enlivens, lives this body, breathes this body, sings this body, dances this body, heals this body. Yeah. So try that on. Try that on. All right.